priceless experiences. Napa Valley wine tasting, spoiling my women friends. Sitting at the table with millionaires. The narrative is tax loops, accounts offshore squares. It's not allowed. Welcome, 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 welcome. Man, if you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, press 2. You know what we do over here. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you part of the family, welcome back, man. How was your Christmas? If you can see me, press 1, and if you can hear me, press 2. And if the levels are good on your end, we will do what we came here to do. And when I see those 1s and 2s, then I'll know everything is all good on my end. What's going on, family? How you doing? Hopefully you had a great Christmas with you and your family. Hopefully everything was everything. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. You took a lot of pictures. Hopefully you created some new memories with you and your peoples, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Life is short. So when I see them 12s in the chat, we will get it going. Welcome to Coin Gang, the #1 home for personal development, the place where you come and you leave better than when you came. All right. This is a safe space for those that have a out the box philosophy. All right. And this is ministry for the abstract mind. Right. This ain't for everybody. Right. Doesn't that feel good to know that you come to a place that, excuse me, everybody can hang? Right. You amongst your own kind, you amongst your peers, you amongst fam. And we think over here a certain type of way. It's a little different, our angles and our perspectives. You know, we deal with the abstract. So is everything good on your end? Can you hear me? I didn't see nobody in the chat. Let me know what's good. So if everything is everything, man, I got a dope build today. You know, we took a couple weeks off and everyone's over the Christmas break, and now we can begin to do what we came here to do. It ain't my birthday yet. My birthday is the 31st. I appreciate y'all. No, it ain't my birthday yet. My birthday is the 31st of December. I'm a New Year's Eve baby. All right. So, how was the Christmas? How's the babies? Everything good? Everything copacetic? All right. So let's get into it, man. Look, my album of today is Boom Crenshaw. This is my album of the day, Crenshaw. I went to Dat Piff, right? I remember this dude, right? I remember I'm mobbing the Cali, and I was like, oh, okay, let me check the homie out, right? This is 2013. I heard a little bit of music before, but I'm on the drive to Cali, and I put Crenshaw, and when I heard Crenshaw, I was like, damn, this dude is the one, right? I heard it then. You know what I'm saying? And since then, I was rocking with the boy. I wasn't late to the party. You know what I mean? I had heard Hustle in the House and Bullets Ain't Got No Names. But when I found Crenshaw 2013, man, I knew he was the one. And then when he dropped Mailbox Money, I'm like, okay, this guy is different. The way he talked about the internet, the way he seen things, you know what I'm saying? So I was very happy that I wasn't late to the party. I knew who the brother was. I patronized the music, put my money down, and I was following him. And I got on board in 2013 from this album right here. So this is my album of the day, Crenshaw, right? This is where it started for me. And I was actually done with hip hop, and he kept me listening. You know what I'm saying? So salute to him. May he transition well. I want to give you the heads up that Dealings Over Feelings Part 3 is in the works. And this is the last installment of Dealings Over Feelings series. This is Dealings Over Feelings Part 3, The Art of Sexual Warfare. So if you already have the Dealings Over Feelings series, then you're going to love this. If you don't, make sure you go to kenbillions.com and get your hands on that. All right. Today, we are talking about the world of muscle. We are talking about different types of humans. We're going to talk about man times man times man. We're going to talk about the world of mind. We're going to talk about human evolution. Our conversation today is the muscle economy versus the mind economy. So if you are in the chat and you are listening, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you share the video. If you are on Facebook, make sure you get your supporter badge so everybody knows it's real. It's that heart rate below. Go ahead and click that and let everybody know you're rocking with your boy. If you're on YouTube, Super Chat is your friend, and the Cash App is there for a reason. You like something, you go ahead and tip it. Let's get it going. Let's talk about the mind economy, y'all. The muscle economy. Does anybody know what the muscle economy is? Right? The muscle economy is an economy that was forged and based by force, strength. This is where guys made their bones around the world. This is where guys was able to bring home the bacon, as they say. This is all because of the muscle economy. It was a time where men would impose their will on other men. Why do you think that you believe the things that you believe? Why do you think that you talk the way that you do and you see the world the way that you do? Well, it's because of the muscle economy. One culture conquered another culture. And that's why you see the world the way that you do. The things that you hold true, your opinions, your values. It's because a culture conquered another culture. And the loser is absorbed into the winner's culture. That's the muscle economy, right? This is where all these things come from. And we're going to talk about the muscle economy. First, let's check something out real quick. I want to show y'all something real quick. Right? I want to show you how we got here. Real quick, right? Because one of the ways that we got here and a real key factor of the muscle economy is weapons. 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 Some sound so trivial, but you never probably thought about that, right? Your belief system, your truths, your culture, your talking points are based on weapons. Who has the better weapons? And who has the weapons that are able to change the course of history? This right here is called a Roman scissor, right? You put your arm in this thing, right? Gladiators used it to hack each other, right? It was very sharp. And understand at this time, that blade is very, let's just say it's not a clean cut. And when you got hacked and when you got stabbed, well, there wasn't the type of medicines that exist now, right? So if a man was cut by something like this, well, it's over, right? This is the Roman scissor. Very, very, very painful, right? I'm just going to scroll through. A lot of you have seen this in movies. It's called a shuriken. It's called a ninja star. It was used by the samurai, right? It is a very, very, very deadly instrument. Hit you in the face, hit you in the hands, hit you in the shoulders, right? And it was a way that the samurai would take down enemies quietly, right? So we grew up seeing these ninja stars being used, right? Very, very, very deadly, right? And it's earned its place as one of the most effective killing instruments in the muscle economy. So shout out to the shuriken, right? Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. I can't even pronounce that. Let's try it though. Bang knock. Right? You put your hands through there. It's a claw device, right? And you run this through your enemy's stomach. Why am I showing this? Well, because a lot of you don't know how the world became what it is today. You don't know how people believe the religions that they believe. You don't know how people think what they think or how cultures are formed. Well, weapons, technology, right? This is all the muscle economy right here. This looks very scary, huh? Well, it is. Just imagine how I felt, right? Let's look at this piece of instrument. It's called a Madu. Let's read about this real quick. 24 inches. The Madu is another weapon from ancient India. It is also more commonly known as the Muru. It is made from black buck horns pointing in opposite directions, joined by a crossbar, which also acts as a handle. Variations include the addition of a shield for defensive purposes. In later years, the weapon was made out of steel. It is believed to have originated in South India and was used mostly as a defensive weapon to ward off counterattacks. Okay. Shout out to this. Okay. All right. Check this out. This is called the zoo. Right? Look at that. That'll take you off your horse. Look at that. Real scary. Man, the ancient Chinese weapon, the zu, is one of the most unusual weapons in history. The character for the zu in Chinese translation is the claw or animal feet. The weapon has a long handle and a claw-like figure with sharp blades at the edge. It was used to rip away the weapons and shields of the enemy. The zu could be used to impale flesh and rip it off the opponent. It has the capacity to pull a soldier from a mounted horse if used professionally. I want to put a heavy emphasis on impale. Do you see that in the muscle economy, men have been killing each other for thousands and thousands and thousands of years? Now, whoever wins, here's the rules. The loser has to serve the other's god. That's the rules. The loser has to be absorbed into the other person's culture. That's the rules, right? So whatever you believed and whatever you once thought last week, if they beat you, now you have to believe what they believe. They're going to destroy your art. They're going to destroy your sculptures. They're going to destroy your entire culture. And after hundreds of years, it's going to seem like the way of life you're living, it always been like that. And you're not going to know that the reason why the reality that you're living in was based on someone losing a war, right? Some interesting weapons here, but I wanted to show you that so I can walk you down the muscle economy, because there is a great there's a problem going on with people's talking points. They are not knowing that the muscle economy is changing, and they're in the change, and they don't know that it's transitioning from a muscle economy into a mind economy. And what I'm afraid of is those that are stuck on muscle, they have no future in the world of mind. Okay, so I just wanted to show you some weapons that I thought was really unique. Check this out too, right? The world of muscle. What you're looking at right here in this picture is Genghis Khan conquering. This is a very large landmass, okay? He ran through this entire area, impregnated the women, killed off the men. It is believed that a large portion of people in Asia are descendants of Genghis Khan because of his exploits, right? Do you notice that when a nation wants to wage war on another nation, the nation that loses, do you notice that the nation that loses, God didn't do anything about it? There has never been nothing supernatural that occurred in the history of mankind that has stopped the subjugation and the brutality from one man to another man. There is no force in the heavens that stops this. It's muscle versus muscle. It doesn't matter if people pray. It doesn't matter if people pour libations. It does not matter. When it's going down, it's going down. And if you lose, You have to worship the other person's God. That's how this goes. The reason why I'm saying that is to let you know that fortune favors the bold. And nature has never did anything about the brutality of man versus another man, children being slaved, women being slaved. Nature allows it. Do you understand that? Have you considered that? That all the so-called evil, what you talk about in your mind of what's good and bad, nature allows it. The wind doesn't stop it. The sun doesn't stop it. The lightning and thunder doesn't stop it. The earth doesn't swallow up these bad people. No, 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 no. It is allowed to happen. Very interesting. But this landmass that you're looking at is based on Genghis Khan going upside people's heads. What's interesting about this is the Roman Empire. So again, you see in the muscle economy that men impose their will on other men and make them get down and lay down. And nothing in nature stops it. For the people that say, man, you know, God is not going to put nothing on me that I can't bear. You sure? You sure about that? How do you think that got like that? You think the people could bear being impaled? You think they could bear swords going through their belly? You think they could bear that? You think they could bear the Roman army conquering this entire region? I understand what you're saying, but history shows a different truth. It's very ugly and it's very brutal and it's very unkind. But fortune favors the bold. Nature supports the aggressor. Many of you think, you know what, man, the meek shall inherit the earth. Really? I'm not sure about that. Nature supports the predator. Nature supports the aggressor. That is not my rules. That is the history of man. When one man wants to go take another man's shit, nature supports it. Look at these empires, right? There's women in these empires and children in these empires, but it doesn't matter because fortune favors the bold, whether I like it or not, whether you like it or not. I know that's a hurtful thing because many of you, depending on your ethnic background, come from a history of people that have lost in the war, and you think that one day some supernatural thing is going to avenge you. Good luck with that. This is the Russian Empire. Again, look at the landmass, right? Look at the muscle economy, man versus man, sword versus sword, fist versus fist, rock versus rock. This is how the world was shaped, through war, not through peace, not through negotiation, not through kindness. One group taking over another group. And whoever has the best technology, that's who's going to win. It does not matter who your deity is. It does not matter who your ancestors are. If you don't have the technology to fight off an invader, you're done. Those are the rules. This is the muscle economy. The muscle economy, the old world that you and I grew up in, was shaped by this, was shaped by conflict, was shaped by disagreement, was shaped by treachery, advanced weaponry, was shaped by blood and tears. That's the history of man. What are you going to do about it? What can you do anything about it? You couldn't then, you can now, because we're in a mind economy, and I'll get to that in a second. So you couldn't do nothing about it then, right? Many of you had no hope back then. You would be a victim of all this muscle, but you got an opportunity now, and I'll get to that in a second. So bear with me. So this is Russia right here, right? This is Genghis Khan's empire. This is the Roman Empire, right? Matter of fact, check this out. Check this out right here. This is the stats from World War One, right? Look at that. 37 million casualties, right? 37 million. Men in America came home, they made a lot of babies, right? Men in America, when they came home, they didn't know if they was going to be alive, right? So they came home and they had hella kids in this time period, 1914, right? Many of your great grandparents, many of your family members participated in World War One. But look at the casualties, though: 37,466,904 deaths. Not one spiritual thing happened to save these young men from their doom. That's the game. You see the muscle economy? You see? Right? Many of you, when you're talking about gender roles, you are speaking from a time period based on the muscle economy when a male can impose his will on a woman physically, right? Physically. Many of the males will say, you know what, we're stronger than the women. See, the problem with the muscle economy is that all you can see. But we know that the strongest forces in nature are unseen forces like magnetism and electricity. But the muscle economy can only see muscle, right? So it gauges who should be in charge based on physical strength, which I get it. When you come from a world of this and this and this, I guess leadership would be based on who's the strongest. I guess in World War One and Two, it would be based on who is the strongest. Excuse me. And then the muscle economy begins to shape something else. It begins to shape the Industrial Revolution, where America really, really becomes a superpower, where you have titans like John Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, the Commodore Cornelius Vanderbilt. You had business minds like J.P. Morgan, right? You had the railroads being built, factories being built. Henry Ford comes with the Model T, right? Industry is changing. America begins to crank out products and right steel, right? This is the Industrial Revolution. Guess what? If you could work, you got a job, right? This was a place that an immigrant came and found work. Grand Central Station being built. The New York subways are being built. Cities are coming up fast. Many places using the steel from Andrew Carnegie, right? The Industrial Revolution, right? Makes America the power of the world. This is all based on muscle, right? Can a man stand for 14 hours, right? How much can he withstand on his shoulders before his back broke, right? Many men working without a day off. Coal miners, man, right? This is what turned a boy to a man at that time. 15, 16, 17-year-old boys working 14-hour days. What? Yeah, man. This is the muscle economy. So when many of you talk about, oh man, I want traditional roles, you have to be specific and give context to what you're saying. Those roles were crafted because of the muscle economy, right? And the women were locked out of the muscle economy. What were they going to do? Beat the men up? What other alternative did they have but accept the way that the status quo was, right? The factories needed a man's body. The military needed a man's body. This is all you were good for. Bring your body. There's no use for your mind. How much can you lift? How long can you stand on your feet? How strong are you? This is what many of your grandfathers, the world that they lived in. Many of them were illiterate. Many of them didn't have options. The only thing they had to put down was their body, because this is the economy of muscle. Yeah, but something happened. Like all things in nature, things change, right? Things shift as they always do. Humans have a way of getting more efficient, doing things better. So now the need for the bodies is not like it was before. How you go from this to this? Well, little did people in the muscle economy know when they were working that corporations can decide to pack up and leave. Corporations have the ability to take their product, take their machines, take their job, and outsource it somewhere for cheaper labor. You know, because at the end of the day, what owners want to keep paying insurance and sick leave and no. The corporation, the businessman, the robber baron, he's in it for money and profits, and he has shareholders, and he wants to satisfy those shareholders. So where can we cut costs? Well, how about just going cheaper? Now you add that to automation, that the robot can do a more efficient job than the man, and it doesn't need days off, right? And it doesn't complain, and it doesn't take a break. And in the long run, it makes more money from shareholders. The men that are victim of this, see, all they have is their body. They need something to lift. How else are they going to earn money? They need something to pull. They need something to slam, right? This is how they make their bones in the game, because they thought that the muscle economy was going to be forever. You know, they didn't know that you have to adapt like everything else in nature. Everything in nature is struggling to survive. Humans make the mistake of getting very, very comfortable in their food source. One thing for sure, two things for certain. How you eat, your food source will change, right? So you can never get comfortable. You hear many people right now say, you know what, I don't want to be rich. I just want to be what? Comfortable. What does that mean? What does it mean to be comfortable, right? With with ease, right? That's many people's dream, to be comfortable. Well, ladies and gentlemen, nature has a funny sense of humor about that. You see, every species that finds comfort ends up going extinct. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, life will change. Your food source runs out. It changes. It gets compromised. It's not the same as it once was, right? For men that are working, they didn't know the rules of corporation, that the corporation could pick up and go overseas. The government doesn't own the corporations here. This is not China, right? So Elon Musk, if he chooses, can open his factories up somewhere else. What are those building the cars gonna do? And then there was a silent killer, because many men and women wanted to be comfortable you didn't know what automation was, right? See, you don't understand capitalism. It's about profits. It's not about humanitarianism. They don't give a damn about you. They care about their shareholders. Okay? That's where their loyalty lies. And they want to make these people a lot of money. And it's more profitable for automation and to outsource these jobs. See, the muscle economy, man, there's a flaw in it. Because the only way you can eat is if you show up with your body. Oh man, they hoodwinked many people, man. And this is where men got up and went to work every day, right? This is where a lot of men got their son on the job, and in some instances it was a grandfather and a son, and then his son. 3 generations of Johnsons and Browns and McKinleys and Williams work in these factories, and these men was able to send their children to college. These men was able to buy Cadillacs and homes and retire with pensions. Well, another secret is Wall Street done ran off with the pensions, but that's neither here nor there. Robert Kiyosaki can talk to you more about that and who stole my pension. So a lot of men is going to be working until they're dead. There's no pensions. But what you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, was where men got their bones from. And you know what this allowed a guy to do? It allowed him to be married. It allowed him to get a woman. Well, what do I mean by that? Because women were locked out of the muscle economy, women had to go through men for resources. They had no choice, right? So a man didn't have to be attractive to get a woman. He didn't have to have a sense of humor. He could have stinky feet, right? He didn't have to be a desirable man, but if he had a job, if he participated and knew his way around a muscle economy, men and women would choose that guy. The bad thing, unfortunately, beloveds, is what happens when this is not available? And what happens if the women that were once locked out of the market are now in the market and actually can do similar things to you? This also creates an anxiety in the dating market, because now the women that were locked out of the muscle economy, they are now in an economy, which is the mind economy. We'll get into that in a sec. So they're able to feed themselves and clothe themselves and hell, protect themselves. They can have guns and cars and bank accounts. So the thing that made the man, well, it's there. It's just different now. And this is causing a lot of anxiety and disruption in the dating market, because women too now make that 40,000, make that 50,000 and that 60,000. And the things that made a guy unique before, the rug has been pulled from up under his legs without him knowing, because the muscle economy has faded away. Look at this. Rusted. Right? This is never coming back. Job creation in the future will not deal with muscle. It won't be how much you can lift, right? It's not going to be about that. Are you kidding me? Right? This is not coming back. Anybody that believes this is coming back is selling you a pipe dream. The muscle economy was a time period. Understand, beloved, look at this. This is from the 12th century. This is Genghis Khan. Look how long the muscle economy lasted. This was based on swords and cannons and fireballs and hand-to-hand combat. And whoever won, you got the spoils of war. Look at this. This is the Roman Empire. God, this is from 1117 AD, 2,000 years ago. Look at this. Look at Russia. The muscle economy lasted for a very, very, very long time. You had world wars because of the muscle economy. 37 million casualties globally because of World War I. This is in a 5-year period. 37 million casualties because of muscle. Napalm, grenades, heavy artillery, tanks, right? This is an industrial revolution, right? Where a guy from humble beginnings can make something out of himself, but he's going to give up his body, right? Many of your grandfathers, your great-grandfathers, when they came home, they ain't have no rap. They chewed tobacco, and spit it in a can, right? Because they knew they had to get up and do this over and over and over again, because that's what it was about. No one had the ability to be an Albert Einstein, man. That was unheard of. Get your ass to work. That's what it's about. And you know, the conditions that these guys were working in was horrific many of the times, especially those people working in the coal mines, right? You ever heard of the Pinkerton group? The Pinkertons were sent in to put down workers striking. A woman named Mother Jones that supported the workers. I mean, you need to do the history of the unions in this country. Working conditions for men have always been shitty, but this is the muscle economy. And now we are here, beloved. Look at this. Look at this. This is where guys showed up every day and made their bones, but them days are over. There is no muscle economy. Your language has to change. You can't talk about submissiveness and masculinity and femininity, because that was all forged, those ideals coming from the economy of muscle. But we are a different type of humans now. Let me tell you what, let's look at what they say, right? Let's look at what they say. This is what they say. This is Western. This is the Western origin story, right? We evolved, right? You see Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalis, Homo sapiens, right? On the right, this is supposed to be modern people, but we're not that anymore. We're something else, but I'll get into that in a sec. But this is how they explain the story, right? We evolved, right, from this primate kind of thing, this missing link. This is what Western academia has said. You know what I mean? And they have some pretty compelling stories, right? But this is how they said it happened, right? Over millions of years, this humans or this thing begin to walk upright and stop knuckle dragging, right? And it evolved into this Homo sapien, right? This is what they say. Now the thing is, you can push back on it, but you have to provide more evidence than they do, right? Notice I'm saying what they say. That's what they say, right? At the top, you see modern humans, right? At the bottom, you have early hominids. I'm sorry, right? Early hominids, right? So you got the Neanderthal, you got the Homo erectus, Homo habilis, right? Then right over, you have the Australopithecines. This is the Western story, the human story. This is the creation story, if you will, of based on humans, right? Like it or hate it. This is the story, right? This is what they say. I'm showing you this for a reason. because this thing developed the muscle economy. Let's just take the story for face value. This is where the muscle economy comes from. This thing that began to walk upright, okay, and begin to make tools, develop language, right? Begin to make trap its food, and became the dominant apex predator on this planet, right? Take this down so we can read this. So you have the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic, right? Stone Age, Middle Stone Age, New Stone Age, all right? This is where all these ideals come from, all right? So in the Paleolithic age, humans used stones for hunting, which was found in nature and already had cutting edge. They used three branches, leaves, and stones to make shelter for living. They ate plants and meat, gathered berries. They may have eaten flesh or dead animals left behind by other larger predators. They used fire by rubbing stones together and roasted meat. Looks like they spelled meat wrong. Okay. And then you have the Mesolithic or the Middle Stone Age, right? So in the Mesolithic age, humans started sharpening their stone tools for hunting and look for stones such as flint that was harder and could be easily sharpened easy. They started to settle in one place, but still remain hunter-gatherers. They ate meat, fish, berries, nuts, and fruits. Now, the Neolithic, here's where modern people are stuck at. Now, look at the time period of the Neolithic. That is 11,000 years ago. And people right now still have that same mindset, right? Nothing much has changed with the mindset, yet the world has changed. And the people that have Neolithic ideals are going to be on the outside of progression, right? The people that are stuck in the muscle economy have these Neolithic ideals. All right. During the Neolithic age, group of hunters learned about agriculture. Why is that important? Because people begin to plant and they begin to settle in one spot. Here's the dawn of monogamy, right? Because prior to that, many cultures, the women in the group mated with everybody, and the child belonged to the group because no one knew who the kid was, right? These were open dating or mating societies. But with the dawn of agriculture, people started to want to know uh, because people had goods now or crops. So a person wanted to know who was his child so he could pass the crops to them. This is where this stuff comes from. And then you also have later down the line, you attach this with new monotheistic views about the world. Instead of people having a pantheon of gods, they started having one particular god. So the rise of agriculture and monotheism is all part of the Neolithic age. All right. At first, they collected crops and domesticated wild animals. By 10,000 years ago, they started to produce grain, fruits, vegetables from seeds. They made plow out of antlers, stone, wood, and started to cultivate the land with the help of herded animals. They used stone mortars and pestles to grain cereals and grains. The people that are talking right now are talking from a Neolithic perspective. Every single thing that people have of their talking points are Neolithic in nature. The concepts of family, the concepts of God, the concepts of everything. It's based on a Neolithic period when agriculture became the what a cell phone is today. It's all from the Neolithic period. Very, very old way of thinking, but that's also attached to the muscle economy. People right now are having conversations of who should be submissive, who should eat the big piece of chicken. and that's because you don't know what has happened. That is not about muscle no more. The world has changed, beloved. And if you don't shift your brain, then there's no future for you and your bloodline. I know for ego purposes, people want to feel special and I want to be the head of the house and I want to be, that's all ego, man. That's all ego. And it's Neolithic, right? But we are different type of humans, okay? But this is the timeline that they say that humans evolved in, right? From here, then you have these skulls, right? And this is supposed to be the human tree, and this is how they break it up: Neolithic, Mesolithic, Paleolithic, right? But we are different type of humans. Now, that's what Western science says. I'm gonna go deeper with you now, though. You ready? I have a question. What did the original man look like? Because we're actually going back to what we started as. So I gave you the Western story, which is this. Now we're going to go a little deeper. Okay. What did the original man look like? Or let me say this: who was the original man? Any answers? Who's the original man? Is it the African? Is it the Aryan? The Assyrian? Is it the Chinaman? Is it the Native of America? Who is the original man? And what did they look like? Let that ping in your head a second. I know the answer many of you have in your head, right? But we're going to go a little deeper. This is the original man. This is the original man on the planet. What you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is consciousness. So the Western story gives you this physical origin story. They don't include anything metaphysical. It's just, oh yeah, these things popped up in one cell turned into this. No. No. There's things that are happening in the unseen that create, right? It's because of this story that all this has happened. It's because of this story that the muscle economy was devastating as it was, because of this story, because they don't come at it from a different perspective. You have this history of war. You have this history of terror, right? You have these factories now where people that work there, now they how are they eating? Because it was only one perspective. They didn't go deeper than that, right? This is the original man. This is consciousness. See, there is a world going on here inside of our world, a world of energy, a world of frequency, a world of vibration. You see hidden forces, you can feel them all around you. Magnetism is at work, right? You got to understand, ladies and gents, you are not a human having a spiritual experience, right? You are a spirit having a human experience. Your body doesn't have a spirit. Your spirit has a body. This is what you are, and this is what you're going to go back to, and this is what we are going back to in the Mayan economy. See, we've been stuck on muscle, and the muscle has caused wars. The muscle is causing outdated talking points. The muscle economy still has people on panels arguing, going back and forth because the conversation hasn't been adjusted and people don't know what time period they're in. We are going back to what we were when we started, pure energy, right? Now, this is the original man, okay? But it has to take a form because of certain energies on the planet, gravitational pulls, electricities, oxygen, things like that, right? This is a human nervous system. Before there ever was a body, this happened first. In the West, they just tell us, oh, yeah, evolution happened like this. No. Right? There's a different creation that happens in the unseen. Before people ever got their body, they went through this. Right? See that spine? See that nervous system? Right? Right? See that brain came because that brain acts as a satellite for off planet. Right? So it had to be the first tissue that was created from consciousness. You just was a brain, right? And then everything was created from there. This is how your body looks. You know what's funny? Because everybody thinks they're hot stuff, right? Everybody thinks they're cute. Everybody thinks this is what you really look like, right? See, this is beyond a Birkin. This is how you really look, for real, right? And then evolution, right? Evolving, becoming, unfolding comes into this, right? So now you got the heart, and the heart is pumping oxygen through the blood, right? So, but you see, it still hasn't taken a form yet, right? It's still energy. Develops a skeleton, right? This is not a black man. This is not a white man. Skin came later. And then you have modern people, right? Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm explaining to you is where we're at now, which is man times man times man. Man times man times man. This is the new man. Let me run it back for you so you understand. Original man, okay, times man. Now, mind you, it went through the process. Boom, modern humans, okay? And this is the new man. This is Sophia, who's an actual citizen of Saudi Arabia. It understands your facial expression. It understands your voice, talks back to you. It communicates with you. This is where we are going. In fact, we are here, right? And it's actually just an extension of original energy, electricity, right? If you are stuck in the muscle economy and you expect the world to look like that, everything is going to pass you by, fam. man times man times man. This is where we're at. The muscle economy is over. Showing up with your body, expecting to get a payment for it, them days are over. Man versus man, right? In the traditional sense, in the ancient sense of the muscle economy, this is over. This is your comp. This is who you got to ask permission. This is who is going to oversee your court cases. This is your banker now. This is your judge, jury, and executioner. Look at this. This is a dystopian world of the muscle economy. It burned down. It existed for a couple thousand years. Now you got to be more now. You have to be back to this, which is mind. Because this is man times man right? Times man. Look at the jobs now. Look at this. What technologies of the next decade? Artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, right? The Internet of Things, sensors and wearables, where you wear the internet, right? The blockchain, big data, apps, infrastructure, technologies, predictive analytics. Welcome to the world of mind, everybody. Welcome to the world of mind. And you understand, in the world of mind, gods are different too. You can't bring your old God into this reality. Your old God was based on a Neolithic perspective and point of view, based on old ideals of monotheism. But there's no way to play that out in the world of mind, in the new world with man times man times man, right? Look at this. Matter of fact, you need to screenshot this. You see number 23, wireless paper. I'm sorry, wireless power. The days of plugging something up in the wall, that's about to be over, right? What about human computer interaction, facial gesture recognition, biometrics, gaze tracking? What about 29, proximity tech, beacons, RFID, Wi-Fi, near field communications, and geofencing? This is happening whether you like it or not. And if you are trapped in the world of muscle, you're done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, beloved. I want to show you human evolution, right? I want to show you where this is like really going, right? It'll sound like straight out of a sci-fi movie, but this thing is real. And I just walked you through a lot of ingredients here, and we have maxed out on the body. We have maxed out on the muscle economy. There's nothing else we can do, right? So we are going to a very, very interesting place. This is why you have to shift your perspective, and all the things from the muscle world, you actually have to put down and come into your mind. All right. Because we're about to go through an interesting jump. And what I'm about to show you, this is the course of the new species of humanity. You ready? This called a Kardashev scale, and it deals with types of civilizations. I just had a moment where I was feeling myself. I'm like, yo, who really be talking about stuff like this? Sometimes you got to give your own self flowers, yo. Can't wait for people. Sometimes you got to give your own self flowers, right? Because the fact of the matter is, I mean, let's keep it a buck. Dudes with tattoos on their face and that wear shirts like this and that get their hair cut like this, they don't talk about the Kardashev scale. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to give your own self flowers. So the Kardashev scale is based on 6 types of civilization. We are type 1 right now. Okay. Type 1 is capable of controlling the entire energy of his planet. We're type 1. All right. Then you have a type 2, capable of controlling the entire energy of his whole star and traveling through the solar system, meaning being able to straight up harness energy from the sun. Right. Type 3, capable of controlling the energy at the scale of its entire host galaxy. Type 4, capable of using energy at the scale of the universe, create galaxies, manipulate space-time. Type 5, capable of using energy at the scale of the multiverse, travel to parallel universes and simulate universes. And the last type 6, civilizations that exist beyond time and space or in higher dimensions, creates and destroys multiverse. Let's go back to the original man. At the end of the day, throughout all of that, is going to lead us right back to what we originally was: light, consciousness. For those that are stuck in the muscle economy and that way of thinking, Neolithic perspectives, you have to outgrow your talking points. You have to outgrow your need of symbolism, right? And the ego, the black man, the black woman, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't even matter. It really don't. It really don't. We are in the world of mind, the mind economy. Your talking points are based on a world that doesn't exist. You want relationship dynamics that were based on brute force. Many of the men want a woman pregnant and barefoot all day. Get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Well, that was based on stuff like this, World War I. We're not in that world no more. And a woman doesn't have to go through a man to get a job. The industrial age is gone. It ain't there no more. We have a 4th industrial revolution, Web 3.0. Look what happened to the factories. Now something else has to make you a man. It has to be intellect. Look what happened. Look at the factories. They're done. And they're never coming back. So I don't even want to hear people talk about a man is supposed to. What do you mean? You don't even know the original man. This is the original man right here. Consciousness. All that other stuff is politics, beloved. This is what you really look like right here. Throughout all the fly shit, throughout all the talking points, this is how you really look. This is who you really are. This is who you really are. This. You just have clothes on and fragrances and a haircut, right? But we are in man times man times man. And this thing right here, you can't run up on this thing right here and ask it to be feminine. You can't run up on this right here and tell it to be submissive. What does any of that have to do with this right here? Where do your talking points fit in here? All this talk about dating. Who qualifies for what? Do you understand that I gave you a different perspective of man? What you're talking about is the Western version of human origins, where they're telling you that you come from Australopithecus and you was a knuckle dragger. You can either come from this portion of man, or you could come from this, right? And this was consciousness. This was pure energy, right? And in that world, those talking points don't exist. It's pure possibility, pure mystery, pure creativity, right? It's no ego, right? This has ego, especially as it goes through its time periods: Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, the dawn of agriculture, monotheism. You have options, but this is where we're going, whether you like it or not. This is where we're going. This is what it's about. We're in type 1 right now. We're going into type 2, controlling the entire energy of its whole star. That means harnessing energy from the sun, figuring that problem out. And that's where we're going. So you can either be part of mind, or you can be stuck in the world of muscle. And this is your world right here. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Right? This is your world. Doesn't exist. The choice is yours. Right? The choice is yours. So that's all we got, beloveds. I appreciate you for coming. We're going to wrap it up like that, and make sure that you do yourself the favor of going to the next level, which is the mind, right? Now, I'm not saying that don't work on the body. Of course, you discipline it, you tell it what to do, but we are out of the stage of muscle. We are out of the stage of body. This is why the people that are controlling the world, big tech, they have very small bodies, but they have large minds. And it's their minds that is shaping the reality of me, of my kid, of you, of your children, the way you see the world. Algorithms determine your reality on the net and off the net. And this is being done by people who don't bench press. This is being done by people who are physically frail. That's because this is about mind. And based on mind, we all got a shot. It's not about who's the biggest, fastest, and strongest. We all got a shot, right? So you're not out the game because you have mind. Doesn't matter who's faster than you, who's stronger than you. That is the old world. If you have the ability to use your mind, right, your mind can move people around and objects around. So you train that muscle, and then you take it further and be able to control things in the unseen. The same way these types of civilizations, right, we're going into a type 2 where we're able to harness energy from the sun. The same ability that we have of controlling our sun, you have the ability to harness energies in the unseen. First, you have to train up your mind, though, right? And then you'll be able to do the control things in the unseen, right? So you in the game, right? You could be under two strands or two timelines. You could be under the Western ideal of man and muscle, or you could be under your true heritage, your true nature, which is the mind. This is man, right? These are your options. I'm not going to tell you what to choose. You find out what's the best thing for you, and I'll see you on the other side, right? So if you're on Facebook, right below, go ahead and click that supporter badge, right? Just on the strength of me coming with a Kardashev scale. Listen, I know a little something. I just look like this. Just on the strength of that. If you're on YouTube, go ahead, hit the super chat, and the Cash App is your friend. Before I go, I want to let you know that the new Spider-Man is out, the new Matrix is out, and I'm like, damn, everybody got these crazy, crazy superpowers. Not all superheroes have that, man. Some of us just have waves. Until next time, peace.
Biggest game, it's like, remember we was all back in high school? Some of you may be still in high school or whatever, but follow me. We had the regular class, and then you had honors class. And I feel like Ken Billion's game is nothing but honors class. Everything that you learned in life and been through in life, or whatever he's talking about at that certain time, and, like point of reference, Game for Guys. Everybody learn game from somebody, and this and that, and it's all over the place. But once I listened to Game for Guys, it was like being in an honors class. Ken is a brilliant guy. I still listen to him to this day. Listen to him almost every other day, and I stay studying. And if I look at a video and he's giving us homework, I'm gonna look through that video. I'm gonna write my notes down. I'm gonna do my homework. Then I'm gonna watch the next video. I mean, you just can't get enough of the game and the knowledge that this brother brings to you. He's allowed me to look back into history, my own history. I found out about black people that I never even knew about, black millionaires and people like that. Recently, I learned about the reticular activating system, and that's something that I'm studying up on as we speak. Which I plan on reprogramming myself. You know what I'm saying? So overall, the Ken Billion's game has done a lot for me. It's allowed me to elevate as a man, as a father. It just allowed me to be more excited about life and not be in the program of being oppressed. And that's one of the main things for me that I have to say that this game has done for me. I'm so glad that I ran across it.